What up, you guys? Welcome to the first ever Tilt House podcast. I am Andrew. I got my boys Marshall and Ben with me. They love ball, love talking ball. Grew up with them, long life friends. So I'll kind of let them take it away and introduce themselves.
Marsh, after you.
Yeah, you see Bebo, so they can either call me Marsh or Bebo. I coach high school baseball. Like Andrew said, we've played baseball growing up forever. I've seen what OPP's done. I've seen what Tillhouse has done for high school hitters, for pro hitters, for Andrew, for my own hitters. So I'm all in on hitting. I'm all in on his methods. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, more of the same for me. Garlic City Ghosts, we were just demons. Just straight out the chute. And so carrying it on over to this now. For me personally, dude, my biggest thing is I love watching ball. So to get to talk ball, that's good by me. I'm always constantly watching baseball and always seeing things going on, new and exciting things. So yeah, it's cool to get to talk about them.
Hell yeah. So you guys aren't getting no scrubs. We know what we're talking about. It's going to be a fun time. Tilt House till we die. All right, let's do it. So the first topic I want to go about is Tatis. Obviously, the big elephant in the room is everything is down. I mean, his everything, like stats wise, but not just that, like the analytics well, which is a little strange though, because his exit velo 1 mile per hour down. His hard hit rate is actually up by 6%, barrel percent up 0.5%, but his launch angle is at 2.9 or 2.8, excuse me. And last year, his average launch angle was 9.4. Feel free to open up to you guys. Marshall, I know you are a Padres fan. So what do you kind of see like day in and day out with Tatis?
Yeah, that's why I was laughing, because I can't go to any baseball event without someone bringing up, well, dude, what's going on with Tatis, right? No home runs? And then obviously I drafted him 1-1 in our Dynasty Fantasy League too. So it's been rough as a fan, and it's been rough just for him, obviously. You brought up some of those numbers. A number that everyone loves to talk about is the pull air percentage these days. He's only pulling the ball in the air 5%, and that's a career low. And I think that's like a league low. It's in the way blue. But like beyond the numbers, like he's just on his front foot like constantly. It looks like he changes his stride, he changes his timing, he changes his leg kick. Like he's just not on time. And sometimes it just seems like his front foot is down, his weight is forward, and then I mean he's just not able to lift anything. He's just chopped in the ground, as you said. So when you
It's
pull
weird though because his attack angle is literally down from 8% to 7%. So it's not even the hands. It's literally just like the front foot, like you said, just getting down way before he wants to launch. Now it's 2 launches.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like his spray chart is like all right center. So it seems like he's just throwing his hands and he's way out in front. Like nothing is with power, nothing's loaded back. Even though his X velocity is all good, obviously he's a strong guy. But I don't know. It's been a weird start to the season. I've seen plenty of videos where people are just like, this is like the strangest start they've ever seen for a player like this.
He's especially struggling against the fastball, which is extremely interesting to me. That was a pitch that historically, I'm looking at the numbers right now, that was something that that was his sweet spot, was hitting those fastballs. And now teams are just attacking him outright with the fastball, and he's got an expected batting average, and he's on the interstate. It's $184. Like that's what's kind of been killer. And I think that's, like Marshall said, the pull air percentage is significantly down too, but also his solid percentage of contact, actually squaring the ball up and, hitting it more flush is down. And even if you look at like his baseball savant page, the peripherals are kind of there. But he's just not quite getting the results. And I mean, you guys spoke well to it, but it's interesting to see what's going wrong there for sure.
Everything comes back down, like from a hitting standpoint, like everything comes back down to the rear leg. If I am not coiled on and around my rear leg and launching when I want to launch, you're immediately screwed against big league pitching. Like nonetheless, like you're not just facing 97 with right at the top of the zone and a sinker, cutter, splitter, slurve. It's like you have to be on time for all of those. And if you shift your weight before launch, you have nothing going. Like that's like you're basically in the box, I would say, like from just experience. Like you're trying to put yourself in the best position to launch from. That's what your swing is. From wherever you're trying to launch from, that's what's going to happen. Your hand-eye coordination, like your muscle memory, it's going to take over, right? But if I'm just like everything's going before I launch, man, I mean you're just only loaded there is your hands. And so like Marshall said, the only thing he can do because his hands are loaded is just go after the ball, and it's obviously just flare the other way because there's no chance in hell you're able to pull something with just your arms.
Yeah. I actually have a clip of his first, I think, and only walk-off home run, which was last year. And I always thought this was like a weird looking swing. Let me see if I can share my screen here and see if you can take a look at it, AK, and see what you see. Because it was one of those times where he was messing with his leg kick. He got his foot down and he was able to stay back, but still.
This is the one where it went viral, like his foot went down, and all of a sudden.
Yeah. Can you see this? Or no?
Not. Let me. There. See it.
Yes, there it is.
Look at this. All right, it's off Kenley Jansen. So. You'll see his leg and then just straight down. I mean,
yeah, but that's go back to that right there and pause it right when that toe gets down. Right when that toe lands, pause it.
He's set.
All right.
It's down, but where is 99% of his weight on his rear leg? Yeah. He has not decided to launch yet, and so because of that, right, it's not now shifting forwards, and so everything's still on his rear leg, ready to fire when he wants to fire, right? He's at the mercy of himself when he wants to then make his move to go. Not necessarily like right at Jansen's mass or what is it? At his mercy, I should say. Right? It's like I have to go now because my front foot came down. No, it came down right hard, but there was still like a weightless front toe where it was more like a kickstand out in front, and he was still on his backside, ready to launch when he wanted to still. So I guarantee you, if you kind of look at the side view.
Oh no, he's out.
Kind of like right in between it. Right in between it.
Wait, sorry, you cut out. Either I cut out or you cut out. What'd you say?
He cut out right at the end.
Oh, I was saying how
last time.
I was saying how exactly right there. Go back to it. I was basically saying how if you go to that side view, his head is going to be at his back ankle or on his rear leg before he launches. If you get any farther than that, it turns into a crash and a push. Right? So you saw it enough, right? Right as he actually landed, he was still basically on his rear leg, on his stack, like his head, his hip, everything was still on that rear leg. And then he decided to go boom, and then he launched to it.
Yeah, I think one of the awkward thing was that pitch was like 92. Like, why was he? It's not like Jansen throws 100, so even that just seems awkward. Even last year, it seemed just awkward.
Yeah. I mean, do you think he's going to turn around anytime soon? I mean, hope so. Obviously.
Yeah, Papa Tatis is going to make his trip over to SD. He does like a yearly trip where they hit, so I'm sure he's tried it and it hasn't worked yet. So he maybe needs to take a trip down to Arizona.
He needs to take a trip to like Sacramento or something. Luis Ariza homers this weekend. Just him.
Oh, right.
Who are the three guys with the certain number of qualified plate appearances?
Probably Chandler Simpson too.
Yeah, Chandler Simpson, Ariza, and Tatis, and Ariza popped 2 out in 2 days.
So that was just an individual struggle, but now a team struggle. I want to kind of bring up the fact that the Rangers against left-handed pitching, you might as well consider it a win for the other team, no matter who's pitching. They are batting 193 with an OPS of 277 and an OPS of 546. Not to mention 37 walks, 102 strikeouts. You guys want to guess who their top 3 on-base percentage or OPS leaders are?
Josh Young
against left-handed pitchers.
Oh,
yeah. Why can't it be Josh Young? He's righty.
Duran's been playing well.
Josh Young is one of them. He's batting 194 with
Brandon
OPS
Nimmo
of 66. There she is. Oh, Brandon Nimmo has the only logical OPS of 767, and the last one. Plate appearances of 30, by the way.
McCutcheon? No, it's going to be who's hurt?
No,
you got it. You're good. You got it.
Oh,
642 OPS. Those are
Oh,
the
yeah.
3 best hitters on the Rangers team against left-handed pitchers, and they are going to need to do something about it if they want to make a playoff push.
What was
If
the
they get
top
that
one?
767 OPS,
Oh, okay. That's all
298
right.
with a 320 on base, so he's doing just fine against them. But you
Yeah.
immediately drop off to your second guy batting 194 against lefties. Obviously, 30 plate appearances, but I mean, we're also 2 months now deep in the season. Most guys should have their footing against lefties and righties. Um, so some kind of trade names, obviously going into the playoffs, I thought about for them is Marcell Ozuna and Taylor Ward. Ozuna obviously in that expiring contract on a Pittsburgh team that obviously is Pittsburgh, OPS of 852, and then Taylor Ward on the Orioles, which is honestly kind of a low crowded system right now, obviously, with a couple guys struggling, want to call up young guys, but don't really have the room for them, with an 838 OPS. So leave it for you guys right here.
I mean, yeah, they're 2 games under, but the AL West is wide open.
Wide open.
So even you saying like thinking about the playoffs didn't even make sense to me, but then you go look at the standings and it's just like, yeah, they're in it. And they're in it with that type of struggle. So you might as well go out there and do something, get a Taylor Ward like that, like you're saying. So
I mean, I find that
It's
insane
still
that
it's still so early, and it's just insane to think that somebody would be selling, like, for the Orioles who had
you're
just
right.
acquired Taylor Ward for Grayson Rodriguez. Like, that's, to punt that, like, I don't know if they're quite ready to do, you know what I mean? Like, that's tough
Yeah,
look.
they have similar records. So
Yeah, exactly.
no, those are all hypotheticals there. But I was just saying, like, man, like I
Yeah.
mean, you could
No,
throw a
right.
double A on him against them. Probably, you could probably bring up a guy from the Texas League, and he'd probably do just fine against, the Rangers left-handed staff or left-handed hitters. Sorry,
Well, and I think
facing
a
a
lot of
left-handed
it
pitcher.
a lot of it has to do with the lineup balance. And as soon as you remove Langford from that lineup, it's very left-hand centric. And it is very he was supposed to be their guy. Like, people were
Yeah.
throwing out 30 homer, 30 steal type projections for Langford. Like, they thought that he was a potential breakout candidate. And so for him to be hurt yet again, unfortunately, it stunk, and it pushes your depth up. As soon as you lose a marquee guy, not only now are you missing a 1 through 4 bat in your lineup, but now all those guys 7, 8, 9 most likely are sliding up, and they become 6, 7, like 6, 7, 8 hitters in your lineup. And it really makes a difference when you're missing a guy like that. So I think that that's a lot to do with the Rangers struggles. And on top of that, they're kind of just built like Jock Peterson is built to mash a righty. They got a lot of bats that are lefties that are just built to hit righties. Josh Smith is a lefty. Brandon Nimmo, lefty. Corey Seager, lefty.
Yeah.
They're all, like, those are the marquee bats, and those are lefties. Aside from, Berger and Young, like, it's a lot of lefties.
Yeah.
Evan Carter, too, lefty.
Are we out on Evan Carter?
It's a weird one.
Not yet.
He's still
What is
23.
He hasn't
Yeah.
shown anything besides the playoff run was obviously insane. But what has he shown us?
He's hitting 167 right now.
I thought he was going to be so good, and maybe he still is. Obviously, he's 23, but like his swings in the playoffs and obviously the poise at
Yeah,
whatever
they
age he
thought they
was.
had him with Link. That was when Langford was coming up, huh? Like, oh, you got these guys for the next 8 years of club control, and it's gonna be devious for all Ranger fans to go crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that was just like I said, man, any other trade targets, or obviously we'll see how it plays off the way we get down the season, but that's definitely something to keep an eye on if they can actually turn that stat around.
I mean, I don't know how he's doing off of lefties in particular, but, like, in my opinion, I don't know, Marshall, you like the Astros, you tell me, and I know that it's in division, so it's unlikely, but another similar guy would be like a Christian Walker, who's having a good year, and again, it's not even a fit, but, like, those are just the types of guys that you would think about for the team, and maybe in some, alternate universe where they would do an in-division trade. Like, those would be the types of guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Walker's had a good year. but he cannot hit lefties.
Really?
You just
Yeah.
Look at that.
he added fuel to the fire.
I don't know. He's hitting 200, 770 OPS, 2 bombs.
So
But
you're
he's
telling me
mashing
on top
righties.
of
He's
it,
right at 289 bombs, 879 OPS. So
you're
he's
telling me on
reverse.
top of the fact that it's totally unrealistic, it's also absolutely wrong. So it's
Yeah, I
the
think
worst take of all
Jake
time.
Berger might even be better right now against lefties. So if we're really gonna, Jake Berger was on a hot streak for a second there.
Yeah.
Let me check real quick.
Shoot, who's a Rocky? Give me a Rocky who hits from the right side.
Nah, Berger sucks. Sorry, Jake. Yeah, I don't know.
But
Too
yeah, I
early to
think
tell. That's just an overreaction. But
exactly with
Yeah.
the ALS being wide open though, like you're saying, like could you go get a Tyler Freeman from the Rockies and try to see if maybe he can hit a little, and patch stuff together, put him in anywhere, a Willie Castro. Mm-hmm.
It's too early.
Yeah, I agree.
all right. Well, it's kind of transition us right to Ben. What do you got for us today? What is your topic of the day?
Gentlemen, paying your stars comes with a definite cost. I think that recently we've kind of seen like the transgression of some of these long-term contracts to some of these perceived stars of the recent past kind of like derail organizations and tie them up, really frankly. I think that nowadays with where things are at and the talent pipeline being completely rewired, you got driveline, tread athletics, private hitting labs throughout, Rapsodo, all these different things going on. What a 22-year-old once was in say 2010 when he was having a coach yell at him to go get in the weight room, we got 22-year-olds now who have had every single swing logged since they were at the age of 14. So I think that on top of the contracts that we've seen that have gone wrong, like the Rendones, like the Pujols on the back end, Stanton's now kind of sort of, Miguel Cabrera at the end, there's countless examples. On top of that, like now the surplus value is in the younger players. You can get a pre-arb stud who will produce you 6+ WAR for less than $1 million. So what's the point really of paying top dollar for these perceived marquee stars when you can just replace them with a replacement level player who's younger and more controllable? And I think that we're going to see the game become a lot younger as a whole because of that. And I don't think that trend's going to change. I think that teams like the Brewers, the Guardians, the Rays have exemplified this process, and it's only going to continue to compound itself. And teams are really going to be fighting each other tooth and nail in that war. But what do you guys think about that?
I think it comes down to like you have to now scout and develop better than ever. Because like you said, you see it with Emerson getting a bag before the big leagues. You saw it with Griffin getting a bag before the big leagues, right? You might see it with Bryce eventually, right? Obviously getting paid here soon, possibly. You just don't know. But you rather I understand what you're saying of younger than old, but that comes with you can only do that if you have an insane scouting team and development team that actually can help these young guys throughout their career to actually make an impact when they are 20, 21, 22, at the highest level.
Harsh.
Yeah, I know you brought up Bogarts, so I was looking at Bogarts and obviously like the Padres, and I totally agree with like the back end. Like he's gonna be like 40, and that's gonna be bad. But I know he's had a couple down years, but this year he's been producing, and I think I don't know. It's just there's some trust to these vets, and they sell jerseys and they sell tickets, and it's hard, when a fan base sees a struggling kid and they're like, well, why didn't we sign Bogarts, or like, why didn't we sign Adames? Like, even if they are struggling, like you kind of there's both sides. Like, yeah, you want to see a young guy struggle, but like, will they ever not struggle? Like, these veterans are proven to pick it up and be like all-star level players. So
Yeah, I think my thing is when I look across the league, I look at like the Cardinals and their start relative, right? Like they perceivedly got rid of, Arenado and some of those older guys that were technically their win now pieces and were hitting a reset. And now you got guys like Nathan Church and JC who are contributing to winning baseball. Whereas you look at the opposite side of it with like the Orioles and the Mets going out and paying top dollar for these free agents. And now with the Mets getting all their kids up, they're producing even more, so it's like it's this crazy spectrum of these kids are coming up younger. And don't get me wrong, I've seen some interest, the Mets, they are young, dude. Those Benj and Ewing, they look like kids in interviews, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy, but they're producing, right? And so that goes to that point of just kind of like these guys are coming up and they're ready and they're contributing fast.
But what do you do about a guy like the Red Sox who signed Christian Campbell to like a 60-year or $60 million deal? Like, what do you do when that happens? It's like, what are we doing? This guy who's 21, produced in the big leagues for 2 months. Here's $60 million. Stay with us, please. Like, we could have used that on a marquee name later on, or 2-3 bullpen guys. That's like, why did we do this instead of give this kid money? I'm not saying he can't pan out, but I think he's good. It's just
I
like
think
things like that.
I think those are totally separate entities. I think that there's examples of like the Scott Kingerys of the world where you pay the guy before they get there, but there's a lot more stories of them going well.
Shot at AK. I know Scott works out at your place.
Yeah, Scotty's my guy. You better watch your
well,
goddamn
Scotty's a big leaguer, dude. I got nothing on Scotty. Scotty's
yeah, that's
he's
right.
a dog.
That's right. You better
He was a
respect his
dog.
sentence.
Utility
Scotty.
guy. He played in the big leagues for a long time, but
He's
in the
still in the big
sense
leagues
of
with the Cubs right now, guy. Just let you know.
living up to the contract that he originally got when he was coming up, most people, were of the mindset that it wasn't lived up to. But again, the point being, there's a lot more stories of them being successful, and there's a lot of successful stories of these young guys coming up and they get that bag early. Look at Acuna. Look at a lot of these guys where they don't technically maximize their own worth, but they get the security of knowing that they have that contract. They play freely and they play well.
What about Lawrence Butler? That dude's struggling. I traded him for a 4th-round pick in 2029. I couldn't deal with it anymore, dude. In fantasy, I did. Yeah.
It depends upon the person, right? And it's there's some bad examples and there's a lot of really, really good examples where it paid off. I'm not thinking of any of them right now, but I think Acuna most.
That pressure point, Ben, like the amount of pressure you guys like, bro, every single day I would go to the field feeling so like just anxious, where there was a point in time where I'd be like, I hate baseball. Like I told myself I hate baseball just to not feel the anxiety and feel the stress and the pressure of like my ass got to perform to like, hopefully reach the big leagues one day and get a contract every 2 weeks or a paycheck every 2 weeks for $36,000. Like it got to that bad of like, man, screw baseball. Like whatever happens, happens. So for these guys to, let's say, get to AAA, just grinding, and say here's $80 million, you're set for life. It's like, wow. Not that you made it. Obviously, you want to go win a World Series now. Be the best player of all time. But like that security blanket, especially if you weren't a top guy, like a 1st-round, 2nd-round draft pick, to have that now kind of behind you is like, man, they believe in me. This trust factor, like I can just go out and perform. Yeah, the struggles are going to happen. You're going to deal with the ups and downs. But the actual like mental psyche that plays with you is definitely a huge aspect, just of the weight lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, basically what you're saying. I know you play with 1st and 2nd-round draft picks, like Reggie Crawford. Like, did you see a difference with those guys? Like, were they more loose and just confident because the organization picked them higher and they had the money in their pockets compared to some other guys?
No, I think as a baseball player, you didn't have that like I'm the best motherfucker out here right now. Like and it doesn't matter if I was the 17th round draft pick or I was round 16 or facing Reggie. Like I'm like, all right, I never faced Reggie, but I was like, all right, if I do face him, like I'm gonna go yah. Right? It's just that mentality of something you need to have as a professional baseball player. But no, for those guys, I would just say they were just good, man. Like my class, like Wisenhunt, Bird, Meckler, like they're like just dogs, and you can just see it right away. Like it took me some time to kind of get acclimated to pro ball, I wasn't very wet on my feet, and my first year was definitely a struggle. But like, seeing in spring training and like when we first got drafted, seeing the top 10 guys get drafted and like kind of see what they did, it was like, damn, these guys mean business and they are good. So
Yeah, and I think that, like you're saying, AK, like it's hard, and like I'm a fan. I'll be the first to admit it. Like I'm a fan, and I'm emotional about. I'm a Giants fan. I'm emotional about my team, right? Like people get emotional. I listen to KMBR, the local radio station, and the Giants win the first two games of the series against the Dodgers, and then they lose the next two, and the sky is falling again. So it's hard to rationalize those types of things when you have people saying such heinous things about you and not knowing anything about you or the makeup of or the work that you've been putting in. And at the
yeah,
end of the day, like you need to have that like mental clarity and that mindset, like you're saying, to just flush everything and who cares? Like, and it's hard to have that because you do hear the noise. And nowadays with social media, like stuff gets around, man, and it's hard. And you hear tons of guys talking about similar things. So um, it's definitely one of those things that it's almost like a skill that you got to have essentially of managing that. It's crazy.
yeah, I don't blame Devers at all for not wanting to talk to the media during his struggles because they were just going to rip him a new one. Like, what's going on? We traded James Tibbs, who's Barry Bonds Jr. for you when you're supposed to be our Barry Bonds. Like he would have heard it and then obviously like read about it and all these things would have swirled and just like all these different assumptions of, well, he doesn't care, he got his bag, whatever the hell people would have made up. So like I don't blame him at all, like in that kind of situation where it's like I'm sucking, like you guys just, it's your job as a media. I understand they have a job and they're going to report what they say and what they hear and their take, but it's like at the same time it's like, bro, like he knows he's been around long enough where it's like I'm not going to do this again just to get ripped on. Like I know I'm sucking. I don't need to talk to you guys about it. Like we can talk back in a little bit and like see how things are going. But yeah, from that side, I don't blame Devers for at all for not wanting to talk to media, when things are going rough like that. To definitely like even just psych yourself out even more. Like the guy knows. We don't need to tell him he's X for whatever. Like he knows, right? He's trying to hit 40 home runs in a single month, obviously, right? The game's hard, and just sometimes the media just like you said, social media just loves to just latch on and attack. So, but enough with that. Ben, great segment to start the first pod. Marshall, what do we got for you?
Yeah, we're gonna go Ben to Ben. So my must watch this season and this season going on is Ben Rice. All
Oh,
right. And a theme has been hitting lefties. So maybe people are tired of hearing about lefties, but that was his big thing is this guy mashed last year and you saw in the playoffs he didn't play against lefties. They're running Goldschmidt out there. But that is not an issue anymore against lefties. He's only had 50 at bats this year compared to over 100 with against righties, but he's up to 280 with a 1 OPS against righties and lefties. So that issue that he had fixed. All right. And last year you could have considered him as like one of the unluckiest players in baseball. Like the results were not matching the results on paper were not matching what he was doing to the baseball. So this year everything's just fallen into place. He's above 300, 15 bombs. Like I said, over a 1 OPS. And
yeah.
his WRC plus is number one. The only guy who's close to him is Jordan. He's right behind him. And then Jordan and Ben Rice, top two. And then there's a gap between 2 and 3. So crazy that I don't even know if he's getting the attention he deserves, with Judge being so great. But almost out of nowhere, just a kid from Dartmouth coming in, catching to start and then basically DHing playing first now. But yeah, absolutely mashes. So it looks like they found a stud for the long term over there.
No, it's nice to have. That's kind of like that safety blanket, they had with obviously Soto when Judge was like, or I believe he had an interview when he was talking about how, just like,
Yeah,
I had Soto behind me. But you don't want to pitch to me, you're going to pitch that guy. And so I'm sure there's like a level of security Judge faces now. Obviously, I haven't watched much Yankee baseball being out here in Arizona. But I'm sure there's that safety blanket where it's like, you're going to pitch to me with I think Judge has a 996 OPS. And like you said, you're going to face the guy with the 1.1 or 1 OPS behind me. Good luck. So I'm sure that frees up whoever hits behind him a lot. And just, have another bat to kind of match, the MVP is like pretty insane, especially for, like you said, guy who came out of nowhere. He's 27 now on his like second year. right? So
30.
that's definitely a huge win for the Yankees for him to just absolutely turn it on as of recently.
Yeah, he's just barreling the ball more, and he's starting to see teams are trying to throw him more off speed stuff, and he's still hitting it. He's just been so good against fastball this year to this point that's kind of the trend that's going on against him. But yeah, I mean, like you guys said, the numbers are just crazy. I mean, expected weighted on base average of 425. That'll work.
I got some of his lefty swings here because last year he only had 5 home runs, or sorry, I think he had 7 total last year against lefties. He already has 5 against lefties alone this year. So, obviously you got to surpass 7.
Do you have it?
Yeah, let me share my screen here. I got a couple lefty bombs here.
There's nothing better than a little left on left crime. I tell you not. That's the best goddamn feeling in the world.
Where is it? I know you were actually maybe an outlier like him. He's starting to become, because you mashed lefties, I feel like.
Yeah.
Can you see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
3-1. Driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya.
I mean, a ball that he could have very easily pulled foul. Kept it fair.
Golly.
Up and in.
3-1.
I mean, even just looking at him, and I know that this is just like a general, novice take, dude. He looks like stout now. He looks like built out. Like I don't know this, but I feel like he put on 10, 15 pounds of muscle just in sheer size, and I'm sure that that's helped with some of what he's doing, and he feels in tune with everything that he's got going on.
Yeah,
that's
you got one.
This is just a fastball for him. Not easy.
This is just a normal nuke that I just wanted to show it. It doesn't even do it justice because Seattle's so big. But
you got another clip or no? Marsh?
What'd you say? Sorry.
It's coming.
You got another clip or no?
Oh, it froze?
Yeah, you're still on the first one.
Into the second.
Wow. I showed like 3 different swings. It was all in the same tab. Let me see. Entire screen. Window. Well, we're gonna work with these bugs here. Which one did I show? I didn't show
the
this
left
one.
on left, up and in one. No.
Oh wow. That's
so
impressive.
Nice. Just being able to hold it for a tick longer, recognize the pop out of the hand, and just sit on it just enough where you let it run in the barrel and say you're trying to go get it.
I showed that one. This was the nuke I was just saying. I just wanted to show this one off.
Ooh. Yeah. I remember seeing that one live.
Like a little 400-foot bomb piece in Seattle. I mean, that's once again not just huge for Ben. Obviously, he's gonna get his payday, but that's huge for the Yankees. You just found another left-handed bat to basically come up in here and, like you said, be Soto. Well, obviously be your own guy, but you're basically replacing Soto
better.
in a sort of sense,
Yeah.
and even better than Soto through the first 2 months of the season. So
for the purpose of him in that lineup, better than Soto, in my opinion, right? Because you're talking more damage and relative, right? Soto's still going to get his in, right? But Ben Rice definitely has proven, that extra base hit, that slug ability. He's doing it and he's doing damage.
Absolutely.
This is going to be weird for you to edit because I thought I was playing 3 different clips.
No, you're good. And actually, I looked up the Yankees lineup. Ben actually bats before Judge.
Huh.
Like most times.
Yeah. Who's behind Judge?
Bellinger.
Same
most
difference.
Times. Yeah.
Same, and it works the same way because regardless, guys are getting tired from having to deal with Ben Rice and manipulate his zone and try to be, dotting pitches against him, and then it rolls over into Judge, and then eventually they're going to make a mistake. And if it's not Judge, then it's Bellinger. And, that's a dangerous 3 to face for any
As
arm.
long as they beat the Dodgers in the World Series, who cares who's doing it? As long as it's not the Dodgers.
Or the Braves. Just let's go Braves. Braves Yankees World Series. Go Braves. It's not the Dodgers.
Hell yeah.
Please.
Now we got a fun segment I want to bring up. If you guys were your own general managers, franchise teams, leagues reset, no GMs, you get to build a brand new team. You have pick 1-1, and you are going to take a batter. Who are you guys taking and why?
Marshall.
This was always an easy question for me because we've talked about this, like whether it was offline or just, I don't know, hanging out in general. I've always said Jordan for like the past 5 years.
Today,
And
like in today's MLB, with
Yeah.
his age.
Sure. If I'm assuming my team is going to be in the playoffs and I want one hitter up in the biggest spots, in the biggest games, Jordan. Again, it's repetitive, but he has no weakness. You know how many times the Astros announcers have said, why are they bringing in a lefty to face him? Why are they bringing in Jose Alvarado to face him in the World Series? Dude, there's no weakness. You bring in a lefty, bring in a righty, you just can't pitch to him. And he's finally been healthy this year. Obviously, wasn't healthy last year. Hasn't been healthy consistently. But when he's healthy, there's no one that is as good as him.
That's crazy. I just looked up his age. I did not know he was 28. It feels like he's been in the league forever. I thought he was 30 or something.
I thought he was 30 or 32.
That's what I was saying. That's why I asked. I didn't know he was still in his 20s.
Yeah, he's probably the best hitter I've ever seen. And obviously that doesn't mean much coming from me, but coming from just nobody. But when he's in the playoffs, something good's gonna happen. And yeah, dude.
So, question off this: is this a am I keeping this guy for the next 10 years? This is my cornerstone, or are we talking 1 year, 3-year window?
You are the giant of GMs, and you have this team throughout the entire franchise. If you're building a franchise, who are you taking to be your 1-1 batter to lead your franchise?
You know what, dude? I don't think it's that complicated. I don't care that he's 34 years old. I'm taking.
It can't be Bader. Oh, okay.
I don't. Dude. Don't do Harry Bader like that, dude. He doesn't deserve that. Big grand slam today. Big grand slam. Okay. But no, I'm taking Judge because the guy just gets on base. It's crazy what he does year in and year out. He hits, he slugs, he gets on base. He does it all. So I don't know what, that threat of him in your lineup, it just, it like we just talked about, it leads into the batter before him and it leads into the batter after him, and it drags on and drags out. Right. And if guys have runners on base, and he's not the slowest guy in the world, he's also not the fastest guy, but you know what? He's on base, and that leads to runs. And watching the Giants, dude, I wish we had a guy who could get on, Luis Ariz gets on base at a high clip, but he doesn't walk as much. He's only hitting. If you have that constant threat of, every time through the lineup, this guy's going to reach, it's a great thing for a team to have. It's advantageous. And with the damage that he can do, I think it's pretty obvious that he would be the guy that I'd want to center my offense around. There are some AK, I'm interested to see who you pick, because there are some interesting, fun young guys. I will say that much.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
you guys want to put the old hitter
I'm
out.
not going to say it.
Wait, but for Ben, obviously we all love Judge, and it hurts me to even bring it up, but are you not a little bit scared about October? Just a little bit?
No.
You're not? Okay, that's fine.
I think that's such a small sample size, and it's I wouldn't be worried about it. He's an October away. He's an October away from being one of in my opinion, all-time greatest hitters of all time. And he's already in that discussion.
He probably is right now.
Yeah, exactly. But if he has a postseason run or two, he's gonna move up the rung on all time.
Yeah, you guys kind of went with the older route. That's why I asked. But I am going with someone who is 23, has an on-base percentage, like you said, Ben, of 426 through his 202 plate appearances. OPS of 910. And I know they play in a AAA stadium, but I have to take Nick Kurtz. I don't know. You can't. That guy is going to be a staple zone for the next 15 years of my offense. And I know I'm going to get at least an 800 OPS out of that guy, if not 900 for the next 8 to 10 years until, like you said, get a little bit older and that downfall starts to happen. But that guy is the staple stone of my offense of just getting a big left-handed slugging first baseman that can do it from both sides.
6'5", 240. I remember seeing him in spring training 2 years ago, last year as a rookie, and just looking at him and being like, that's an MLB guy. That plays. It doesn't, the rest will figure itself out. But he's got the build. He's got the tools. The Giants barely even pitched to him this weekend because they're just so mortified of the damage that he can do.
23. Like I'm
23, yeah. 100%. My guy's 34.
Like I was what? I was 23 in high A. And I was striking out like 30% clip. Like there's some guys that just freaking have it, and there's some guys that don't, obviously. But like that guy has it, and it's good. It's not just like his size, but like his swing itself. He is in a great loaded position to swing like when he wants to. Like the swing decisions, like everything's there, and when he connects, it is, oh my goodness, unbelievable.
His 432 on base percentage clears Aaron Judge's 401, by the way. So,
yep.
But I'm taking a little more on the history side.
I know AK loves to talk about hitting behind the baseball. That's probably why you picked him, because he's like the perfect example. That obviously Judges too, and Jordan, but like his spray chart is all middle left side, and when Kurtz is going good, like he's putting balls over the batter's eye, putting balls left center field. So I know, like, if you want to show people, like the people you work with, my high school kids, like someone's swing, obviously you can't replicate 6'5", like 300 pounds, but the way he stays behind the ball and just his approach to hitting, like it's perfect.
AK, would you consider Bobby Witt?
Only because the premium defense at shortstop. That's it. That's the only reason why I would consider.
It.
But I'm taking strictly that. And he's gonna steal some bags too. But like, once again, you gotta remember, like, bro, the game of baseball is just, it's not like that anymore. Like, you can throw anyone at shortstop, like, and you don't have a 960 field percentage and be cool. Right? You're paying guys nowadays to hit home runs and walk. That's it.
I mean, is there a bad shortstop left? Someone's like off the top of their head defensively? I can't think.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's someone who's struggling right now at shortstop.
I don't know. I was just thinking, because dude, shortstop is so hard. Like it's hard. Like you have to be good at shortstop. You can't just throw anyone out there.
No.
Yeah, it's a premium position. You have to be able to pick it. It's a non-negotiable.
You're kind of disrespecting Bobby Witt, though. I might want to pick him now because you said,
I had to think about Bobby Witt.
Are you shitting me?
I was between
30
I'm not
bombs
gonna
and
lie,
steal 50 bags.
And I should put more respect on your Don, but I was between Judge, Witt, and Kurtz.
For me, it's always been Kurtz.
I don't want to jump too much into it, but James Wood, is he up there for you guys? Because like the numbers say I don't know. He's always had that freak build too. He's got the size on him.
No.
Yeah.
No. Never crossed my mind once.
I don't know. Not yet. But like he's right there. He's like top 20 hitters. So.
He's doing it.
He is a big boy though. I love his swing though. He's a switch hitter, no?
No.
Lefty.
Just pure lefty. Oh, his big old leg kick is so nice.
When he connects, and dude, he's got easy pop too. He'll push one out to left field, no problem. Go opposite field. It's pretty nuts pop. And he's got the speed. But yeah, those other guys are definitely in it.
But that just shows you how many good like hitters there are. Where it's like someone like that who's just like an elite hitter, we're not even like crossing our minds for a 1-1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's like what?
He's
23,
close.
24?
Yeah, he's
No one-
23. He's 23 and he has a on base percentage of 389. He has an expected weighted on base average of 429. So he's right there with those guys. That's why I brought him up.
Yeah.
He barrels 27% of the pitches or swings that he has. He's in the 95th percentile for bat speed, so he's swinging hard. He's 6'6", 235, so he's a freak. So
Dude, is Shea Bangaliers not even an option?
I mean,
He's
dude,
gonna catch every
honestly,
day.
if we put a certain multiplier on the positional component of it, but then again, we could have been having this discussion about Cal Raleigh last year. I know the average was still low, but look what just happened to Cal this year. So, but Bangaliers, yeah, dude, expect a weighted on base average of 423. I love how quiet his swing is. I love how simple and quick and plain to the ball he is, and he just does damage. That's
what I'm excited for?
He sits on the backside very well. What are you excited for?
I'm excited to see Murakami not only set the on pace for rookie home run leaders, but also strikeouts. 46 games, he's got 17 pumps with 66 strikeouts. So he's on a full pace of a season for 60 home runs. I think that's to beat Polar Bear. And then he's going to beat obviously Chris Bryant's strikeout numbers. I believe
he's not going to beat what isn't Alonso's 52 home runs. He's not going to get there.
He's on pace for 60. He's on pace for 60.
He had 2 yesterday.
And what is Kyle Schwarber on pace for? This is random, but like
no, these are. I'm talking about strictly the rookie.
Oh, I know, but like he's on pace for damn near 90. So like this is like it's not realistic. But no, I saw some stuff recently, because it was kind of weird how once it was time for him to come over, like there was like very little interest in like teams trying to sign him, right? And what did he sign for? 25 million a year?
Something like that.
And he's obviously outplaying that. So I saw a video where they were talking about obviously his strikeouts were an issue over there, so they thought it'd be an issue here as well with the pitching that the MLB has, but they overlooked his chase percentage. Like this guy doesn't chase, so you can maybe get away with the strikeout stuff because he's swinging at balls in the zone. So like more than likely, if he's gonna swing at balls in the zone and put barrel on ball, they're gonna go a long way. So so it's different if he was swinging and missing like he does, but then was also chasing, but he doesn't chase. So that has like kind of opened people's eyes to be like, yeah, like we missed on that. Like he has a good eye, and yeah, he swings and misses, but he swings at good pitches.
Hey, you know what he said though? I have power. The guy does have power. Holy crap.
It's got power. Yeah, but he's dude. I mean, similar profile to Schwarber or Cal Raleigh for sure with Murakami. I mean, I keep going back to this stat because I think that it's, in my opinion, it's shows you guys success rates, but the 398 expected weighted on base average, like that works. You get on base 2 out of 5 times. That's good. That's going to be conducive to a productive offense. And the White Sox have been a pleasant surprise. And I don't think that, it's a coincidence that you inject this guy. All of a sudden, Miguel Vargas takes, kind of a next step and is kind of performing better as a result of he's hitting behind this guy every day. And Colson Montgomery's behind him. So there's damage in there. And so those pitches become taxing when you have to focus so much on each and every single pitch, or else that these guys are going to do damage against you and put a ball out of the yard.
No, I love that take. Yeah, I didn't even know the White Sox were in second place right now. They're only a game behind the Guardians.
Like, they're playing, man. They're playing. And if you watch them too, like their lineup, it can produce, dude. Antonacci to Murakami to Vargas to Montgomery, like it's a solid 4. And if you go look at Vargas's stats, like Vargas, sneaky sneaky, having a very, very good year, and nobody's talking about it because they're talking about Murakami, but he's up there too. Montgomery's hit plenty of bombs, so they got some
Is Kyle
bashers for
Teal?
sure.
Is he hurt still, or is he back in the lineup?
Teal's on his
That's
way
another
back.
game.
He'll be back very soon. I heard
Exactly.
an
We
update
haven't had
about that
Teal yet,
today.
and he's supposed to be one of the
Yep.
one of the best hitting catchers in all of baseball here for the next handful of years.
Yeah, I want to say Edgar Caro was supposed to be a guy too. He's 23, yeah, and he's kind of struggled out of the gates. But once they get Teal back, for sure, it'll definitely be an added boost to their catching position.
Yeah, in his rehab assignment, Teal's got 15 ABs, 276 with an OPS of 820 in AAA. So he's on his way back soon.
Yeah, for sure. 24 and 22. White Sox playing better. They used to be the laughing stock. Things change.
This is a hitting pod, but they have some cool pitchers over there that
Get that.
that
We don't talk
that
about that's. You want to go watch pitchers? Go watch Pitching Ninja. That's not us.
Tell me you're a big Grant Taylor guy, eh, Marsh?
He's on my team. What else
As
you
we
got?
kind of
for us,
wrap it up
Nick?
here. I was gonna say, anything else you guys got for hitting wise, or anything you kind of watch out for this next week? Before we kind of wrap it up here.
Let's get some, not today, but let's get some minor league hitters in here.
I like that.
Especially because then you look even cooler when they come up and they're actually studs.
If you'd have
We can
called
look back at-
Franklin Arias's absurd run 2 weeks ago, when you just hit like 4 homers in 2 days or 5 and 2, whatever it was, just went crazy.
Let's we're still waiting for Fernando Graterol to make his debut.
That guy's gonna be a beast. If you guys let's get in for next podcast. We'll fill you in on the story about Fernando Graterol and what he means to us. But we will be in his major league debut.
You know what, dude? I will say we kind of went hard on the Rangers, but the good thing is for the Rangers, some of those stats are going to go up and up because they got a trip to Coors coming. So watch out. The Rangers might start letting the ball fly a little bit because they get the elevation in Coors. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you got 3 games to get right against the Rocks.
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
things are looking up for the Rangers.
Absolutely, as everyone. And again, it's just our opinions. And baseball's hard as fuck, and we know it. But we're just talking ball here. So appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Marsh, Ben, appreciate you guys, and looking forward to doing this for a very long time with you guys. Feel free to comment what you guys think about our pod. The takes we had, what you like, what you don't like, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.